don't think. Okay, recording has started. So now let's move on to the description of the day. Basically, I have material that we will be using to guide us. We'll be using good material to guide us so that we can use it to practice along and then gain a lot from it. So, yep, let's start. So the first thing was create a new folder for this class on my PC. I'll name it Synctellect Data Analytics. So ask what classes there is Synctellect Select. Yes. So I don't material for that. Just starting with basic functions to start basic function, do some calculations, some formulas. A minute, let me try to take my material. Okay, that's what I need now. Let me. I think I can see my screen now. Material, I have my materials here. That we have some other things that I'll share to, and then possibly in the chat that we can use it. This data sheets. We can to. So don't be scared of what we see. We'll see and then move on. So in our class, a lot more of functions and some others that relate to analytics using a, but then we might not be able to touch everything. So please feel free to explore other things too, and then be like, okay, that's Mr. Awala to teach you on that could much more business that I think would be beneficial for so that's so with some functions. Let me show you if I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I audible enough? Mrs. Zainab, can anyone hear me? I want to be sure if I'm audible so that I'm not just talking. Hello?
Yes, but it's so I can't really hear.
Hello? Please, can you unmute and say something so that I'm sure before we go deep into that because I'm already like explaining some stuff. Mr. Timothy, Mr. Abdullah, Sister Mrs. Atinuke, please, can you say something? Are we good to go? So that I don't just keep talking and then you can't hear me. Can you just one, guys?
Yes,
Can you just one so that I know?
yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Please, at any point, if you can't hear me if I'm breaking, please do let me know. And please kindly unmute. No, I'm not my screen. I'm not here. I can't see things every time. Kindly just unmute and say something so that we can move on. Yeah. So basically, we've gotten some data to use basically for test running. So these data we're just getting from random samples and so that we can use it to learn. So we are using this data to actually learn. So now we have dates, we have the region where they are selling from, we have representative, we have the item they are selling, the unit of the item, the units they are selling, the unit cost, and the revenue made. So the revenue made is actually a function, a formula. Let's go into details of it. So average, the first formula we are trying to use in Excel is the average formula. What's it being used for? It is used to calculate the average of a range. So a range can consist of a list of numbers. You understand? So first thing that we're trying to do here is find the average units for these for items. The average units for the items. So we are trying to get the average units for what? For the item. So the formula I'm going to use is pretty much there already. Let me just put it here again. So equals let's see enable content. Let me count through this. So equals average. You can see average here equals average. Now you select the number where you want to select from. The unit, Sabi. That's from E2 to what? To E44. To E44. From E2 to what? E44. So you can see now it's spanning down to this place. E44 to this place. I click on enter. So that now you have 49 point what? We have 49.32558. 49.32558. Now, average unit for the costs. Average unit for the costs. We say equals average. This and this the average, the formula, I know it often before that and it is similar to the name. If it's something I don't remember, you can easily just search for it and then use it. Equals average unit cost, Abi, from F2 to what? F54 to F54. I know that because I've done it before. So it ends here. it ends at F54. Another way that I can do it, let me not use this. Let's try again. You can actually click on it and drag it down. Click on it and drag it down up to this aspect. So if you click on enter, you would see it has what? It has selected average from F2 to F44. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? I hope we got those two aspects. So average is used to get the average of a certain number, and the formula, the math behind it is just the average math. So how do I explain it? Let me use 3 to explain. It says all the numbers summation over the the count, summation over the count. So it's going to do sum all what is inside this place and then over the count. So let's try to do that one by one. So let's say equals sum of what is there, sum of all this. That's the sum. Now the count. Equals count. Let's count this. That's how many? 43. That's 43. We now say equals this divided by this. That's what 20.31. That's how we get our average. So not too much of an hassle. Do you understand? Now for the average revenue, that's the question. So that's the question for someone here. Mr. Michael Alamu, how are we going to get the average revenue? Let me share this screen like this so that no. Okay, let me do this. Let me share only my Excel screen. Let me stop sharing and share only my Excel screen. That I'm able to see the in class. Okay, Mr. Michael Alamu, how are we going to do for the average revenue? You can just tell me how to do it and then I'll type it out. If Mr. Michael is not there, Mr. Zainab Zakari, how are we going to do for the average revenue, to find the average revenue? I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Sister Zainab, if you are talking. I can't hear. Can someone else try? Sister Tinuke, but I'm not seeing. Can you try? My people, please, this should be an interactive session. I'm not just here to teach. You're all here to teach and learn and everybody to collaborate together. And that's what we want to collaborate together, please. Okay, if there's no answer from anyone, let me just go to it. So to calculate the average revenue now, just be equals average. Let's say this is our average revenue. Now, before doing that, let's see something. There's something I have here. Let me remove it, and then let me bring it back. I'll bring it. No. So now, revenue here. We want to get our revenue per sales. So the revenue would be unit cost times units. So we say equals units times what? The unit cost. That would give us our revenue. So now, once you click on it now, you can just click on this place. Let me enlarge it so that you can see it. You can click on this place, this drop down, and double click it. It will do it for everything. It's going to do it down. It will do it down. And if you feel like that's not okay, you can drag it. You can drag it down. You can drag it down and then do it yourself. Let me control it and say let's drag it. You can see have it here Instead of double clicking, you can just drag it down.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I was speaking before. I don't know what happened. You're not hearing me.
Okay, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. Continue. I'm listening. I just wanted to confirm if you're hearing me.
Okay, I can hear you. Thank you.
And then just for you to come back again a little bit, please. Can you please go up for the
Okay.
average revenue?
Average revenue.
Can you scroll up?
I'm coming.
Yes. I'm trying to confirm which formula did you use for this? Is it equal to average, then open square?
Yes, equals average. You select from this
Open square bracket
up to this guy. So you can see the formula here.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
So that's it. Pretty much simple. I hope.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But then the one you did for
Okay, go on.
I think initially you did something, or it was me.
I did something for what?
To calculate for each person's revenue. Is it possible?
Yes, revenue. I removed for revenue before. The average of each person revenue.
Yes.
Like that means for each sales rep,
Yes.
we are going to get to that place. You have to fly. That's condition. We'll get to average ifs. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
So there is average ifs when you can say an average. Someone is typing, anyone typing anything. You can get an average and then we tie it to a particular condition. Average for this guy alone, average for this guy alone. So when we get conditional, it is the next thing in line. Don't rush. We're going to take it at a time.
Okay.
Okay, now let's do for the sum. I think we all know what the sum function does. Sum adds up all the numbers in a range. It adds up all the numbers in a range. So we have the similar thing that we did for average. We are going to do it for unit cost. I'm going to do it for revenue. This is very simple. Just the same formula, but the same procedure, but different formulas. So let's say equals sum. You can say sum, and then you do it for unit costs. E2 to what? E44. I know that that's how I'm going to write it very fast. E44. Same thing we do for this place. We say equals sum F2 to F44. We say equals sum revenue G2 to what?
G44.
Simple. Very, very simple. And that's the sum of revenue. This is the total revenue. This is the total sum of units. This is the total sum of units costs. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very, very much simple and straightforward. Now let's go to count. Some ifs too. There's some ifs too. There is average ifs, there is some ifs, there is count ifs, there is a lot. So we have count. Count. What does count do? Count counts. This funny. It counts the number of cells that contains number in a range. That contains what? That contains number in a range. Now let's do something. real quick. Let's say equals count. Equals count. Let's select this. Enter. You can see giving us 4. And is it 4 that we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cells in this row. We have 7 cells that we selected in this row. 7. But it's taking out the one that has only numbers. It's taking out G, F, E, and what? And A. Do you understand? It's counting the one that has number. So those one that has text, alphabet, is not going to count them among it. Do you understand? That's how counts work. Pretty much simple. Pretty much simple. We have not gotten to the hard aspects. When we get to the hard aspects and I need to slow down, I will let you know and I'll slow down. Definitely. So minimum and maximum. Minimum and maximum. Their formula are very simple. Equals min equals max. Let me delete these guys first. So now I want to get the minimum unit cost, the minimum units, the minimum revenue. We're going to use our stuff here. So yes, there is something I want to even explain here. If you cannot see my screen at any moment, please do let me know. I'm trying to increase and decrease simultaneously. Decreasing works better for me, but increasing will work better for you guys. So equals min, and then you select the range E2 to what? E44. E44. Enter. So the minimum is what? The minimum is 2. The minimum is 2. Now, I want to do for this, I want to do for this. Instead of writing simultaneously for this, writing minimum and writing minimum here, I could come to this aspect, drag this one like this. Any question? Want to say something?
No, I mean just like the way you dragged for revenue from upward going down, you
just drag it. And to confirm, you can click on it and see the minimum F2. So it know that as I'm dragging the number with it. So F2 to F54, and this one G2 to G44. Does that make sense? Same as maximum equals max E2 to E44, 96. That's the maximum. So, similarly, I'll just drag to easy peasy. I don't need to type everything. I don't have to type everything. Does that make sense? You don't have to get the minimum, maximum, and stuff. And you're still doing Excel. But just doing Excel, there's still more and more things to do. So now we are done with some. Now there are more and more formulas that we've not even touched. If you go to the formula aspect here now, you will see sum, average, count number, minimum, maximum. We've done that. We've done some of financial. I'm not even touching this. I'm not an accountant. Logical, there are some logicals that we do. You can see the logical functions, we do them. Texts, we have texts here that will do them. There are data. So you can take your time to explore and come here and do a lot more. You can do a lot more. But then for starter pack, we have not starter pack, intermediate pack for you. For you here. Does that make sense, guys? Please, do we all understand? Do we all understand? Understanding?
Yes.
Now, conditional statement. Conditional statements. This one was what? It has condition. So now we're saying we are talking about conditional statements when we want to perform a particular function formula, but then with a condition. With a condition. Now we say some ifs. What does some ifs does? It adds up all numbers in a range that meet a specified criteria. That meets a specified criteria. Let's see a sample. Find the sum of revenue by sales rep John. The sum of revenue, that's equals to. Now the condition, by what? Sales reps John. We have different sales reps here. So one of the sales reps, is what? is Jones. So we want to find for what? For Jones. What do? We say equals sum if. Equals sum if. The range of the, what do we call it? The first range that we're going to get is what we the range of the condition. This is our range for the condition. C, comma, the criteria. The criteria. Our criteria is what? Jones. Jones should have this. Oh, no. Calm down. I'm not writing much. Our criteria is Jones. You can see that's our criteria. So this Excel is even telling us what to do. Comma, the sum range. Our sum range is what? Revenue. You can see. Does that make sense to you? And even we can try to calculate it one by one now. Let's try to calculate it one by one. Do we all want us to calculate it one by one? So now all the amount that sales Jones made in revenue is what? $2,363 or naira. Anyone? 0.4 kobo. Do you understand? Now let's try to calculate it. Let's try to cross-check. Is Excel lying for us? Let's try to see. So now I tell people, sometimes you are using Excel, sometimes Excel is using you. This way that I want to use now, Excel is going to be using us instead of us using Excel. So let me add a filter. I'll add filter to this. Let me filter out everything. Select. I will select only Jones now. You can see I'm having only Jones now. I'm having only Jones. And yes, let me come back. Let me come back now. Let me come back real quick. I've done something that I think I've explained to you, but then let me explain it. So filter. You can add filter to different columns. You can add it to all columns. You can add it like this. I've added it to everyone, but then I don't want to do filter on all the column. I want to do it on only rep Jones column. I'll say come here and I'll say filter. Now I can filter out, I can select multiple, I can select everything, I can select only one. So first of all, I select this select all. I don't select everything. I want to select only Jones and I'll click for Jones. Okay. Now I can come somewhere here and say equals sum. And I'll do this. Enter. What it has done, it has calculated those are in between two. It has calculated those are in between two. This, the one that we filtered out, let me change this. Let's select all. Okay. You can see the same thing. That would not be my portion. I would find the way out. I'll find the way out. Jones. Okay. Okay, I'll just say equals sum. I'll not select the range now. I'll select it comma this, comma this, comma this, comma this, comma this, comma. You can see Excel is using me. I'm not the one using Excel. Excel is the one using me now. You can see. Now this is similar to what we have up there with what while we use some ifs. Yes, you can see this is similar to what we have here. Now, second one, find sum of revenue from east. Sum of revenue from where? From east. Now, we are working with two columns, revenue column and what? The region column. Sum of revenue from east. So we say equals sum if range, the range of this guy, the region, comma, the criteria, the range of the criteria is what? East, comma, the sum range, revenue, enter. We're able to get our revenue from east, only from east, not all the revenue. I hope that makes sense. Mr. Michael, are you with us?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay, give me please. Okay, so we just move on. Okay, so now I can even leave you guys with this and say do the remaining. Some ifs count. No, some ifs might be somehow complicated, but count if very much straightforward too. So now some ifs adds up all number that meet multiple criteria. So now before, if is just for one criteria, ifs now is what? Multiple criteria. Multiple criteria. So you are saying find the revenue. Let me expand this. Find the sum of revenue generated from pencil by sales rep Andrews. You have to condition now. Revenue from pencil and also from what? Sales rep Andrew. So if sales rep Andrew made sales on binder, you don't want to count it. If you made sales on pen, you don't want to count it. Only pencil and what? And only pencil by sales rep Andrew. So now let's try that out. You want to try? Let me not leave it to try at first. Okay, I even skipped something. Sum of revenue from binders. I expect you guys to be able to do it on your own. Sum of revenue from binders. So you should first try to get is the column you are working with. After you get the columns you are working with the revenue column and with the item column, and then you just use the formula and you drop the criteria. You get your answer. Should I do it? I will not do it. Try it out by yourself. And to bring to your notice, please try to practice this so that you can understand. Try to practice it. And possibly, I might not be sending this. I want you to generate your own data, write out something. You can try to mimic this and use it to practice. So, please, let us practice. Now, let us try this. Equals some ifs. Some ifs. Now, I tell you the sum range. Before, we're coming with the criteria range. Now we're coming with the sum range. What sum do you want to get? The revenue. That's our sum range. We first give it our sum range. Comma. Now, criteria range 1. Which range we first use? Let's use find sum of revenue generated from pencil. That's item. Item. Comma the criteria. We'll now give it what? Pencil. Comma what? Criteria range 2. What's our criteria range 2? Pencil and what? From pencil by sales rep Andrew. We are going to rep column. Comma. Oh, I made a mistake here. By sales rep. Now the criteria range. We want to give the criteria. Sales rep what? Andrew. Sales rep Andrews. It contains sales. Now let's click on enter. We have done. We can still add more and more and more criteria to it. You can also say, okay, based on that too, only the ones that are from what? That are from the east. You still add another criteria to it. You understand? So let's click on this. Let's use this. You can see you're able to get that. And you can verify manually too. You can try to verify manually, which I know would be 100% correct. Now let's check for the second one. Find sum of revenue generated by Jones from East Region and Pencil. Do you understand? Now, East Region and Pencil. Those are the two criteria. Now, three criteria. Sales rep June, East Region, and Pencil. You can feel like, this is too much. It is not too much. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. So you say equals sum ifs, the first sum range, which is our revenue, comma, the first criteria range. Let's take our rep as the first criteria range. The first criteria, which is Jones, comma, the criteria range. That's criteria range 1, criteria range 2. What's criteria range 2? From East region, we put it on a region. Comma, what is the criteria? East, East, comma. Now, criteria range 3. Criteria range 3, which is what? Pencil, that's our item. Comma, what? The criteria, pencil. I'll click on what? Click on M. Okay. There's actually one that has an issue. Let's see the one that has issue. I must have made a mistake. Some ifs GCC. Okay. I have done this. I have used this. I think this should be correct. So you can see. Very straightforward. Very straightforward. Not that hard. Now, count if. Count if and count ifs. Count if and count ifs. Count if, count the number of cells in a range that meets a single criteria. No. That meets what? A single criteria. While count ifs count the number of cells that meet multiple criteria. Do you understand that? Do you understand? And my people see with me. Are you see with me? Is there me with me? Unmute and talk.
Yes.
I can't hear anyone. Okay, are you understanding?
I'm following. I'm understanding a little.
A little.
I have to go through it definitely because of those formulas. That's why.
Okay. So please, yeah, do a good read.
Okay.
So now let's move on to count if and count ifs. What I expect now is we do already know what count if and how count ifs should look like from some ifs and some ifs that we've done. So now count if. Find the number of times revenue was above the average revenue. A very good question. We are still, this is our first class together. I don't want to start pushing questions first. Find the number of times revenue was above the average revenue. How do you know our average revenue? Let's try to calculate what's the average revenue. I think we have the average revenue, we have it here. We have our average revenue, we have it here. Now, you come in here. So we can just write it as a number, we can reference it anyhow we feel like. But I think we should reference it is more okay. Now we say equals count if the range. What's the range? Revenue. What's the criteria? Greater than is above, greater than what? This is the revenue. I want to reference this. Okay, I didn't. Calm down. Above. I'm not saying greater than equals. We saying greater than equals. Okay. Let's put in the number here. 456. Greater than 456. Greater than 456. I think greater than 456. 456.4. Let's say 457. Let's say 457. 457. Do you understand? So do you understand that aspect? Do you understand that aspect? I hope you understand. It's due to okay. Okay, J2 to J44. Let's do like this. Yeah. So I can get the same answer. Does it make sense, guys? Do you understand? I don't know if you guys can hear me talking again.
Sorry. In this case, what is the average of following that has to do with 457?
This is the average now. We've gotten the average before. This is the average. 456.47. That's the average. That's the average. Here we just did what? We wrote it in. Count if for the range, for the revenue range, is it greater than or equals to what? Or equals to 457. I rounded it up. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand.
So now let's do our second question. Find the number of times sales rep Jones made sales. So let's find the number of times sales rep Jones made sales. So we're going to be referencing only one certain column. So I wish someone to assist while saying this. Count if the range, which range I'm going to use? The sales rep range. This range, sales rep range, comma, if it's equals to what? Jones. We'll do our, and we'll say cap Jones. Enter. So you can see. And now let's come and now let's add. We've added into it. Let's add, let's remove, let's click on the filter, let's try to get it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly what our formula gives us. But imagine it is more than this, it is more and more. How do we start counting one by one? We don't want to be that scenario. That's why we want to know our formula very well and we need to use our formulas. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, looks good. So now, find number of times sales reps John made sales in the East region. Now we're coming to East. We have Jones made sales in East region. So Jones and East region, those are our two words, condition. I'm tired of typing. I'll just show you what we have here. So count ifs. Your first criteria range. Which is what? Which is rep. And the criteria, Jones. Your second criteria range, which is region, and your criteria, East. And just put it inside, you will get your answer, which is what? Oh, which is 8. You understand? Which is 8. Second way for the find the number of times pencil made sales in West. Find the number of times pencil made sales in West. One number of times pencil and West occur together. Now, we can easily do that. D2 to D44, the first criteria in some ifs criteria in the criteria. second criteria into the criteria. Now let's take manually. Pencil and waste. Let's try to take. Let me add pencil and waste. So this is our region. Let me add filter to them. Let me add filter to them. Oh, okay, let's do this another time. Now let's filter out only pencil. Okay. Now we are seeing only pencil now. Now count number of best I can see in pencil. You can see one. You can see 1 and 2. This is 2. Just 2. And then you see here you can see 2. The answer is 2. Pencil materials 2 times in the waste. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It does. That's it. And the last one, I'm not even explaining it. Go and do it as an assignment or content assignment on your own. That number of times pencil and binder. I don't want to talk about it. It involves one thing that is now that pencil and binder made sales in the West. Pencil and binder. So now in your let me tell you how it will look like. In your this thing criteria, you now have a list of 2 different items in your criteria. Let me just show that it looks like here. So count ifs now. Okay, count ifs. You do for pencil. So the number of times pencil made sales in the West plus another count if. These are not even scenario another count if. Plus another count if. You can see our model is getting more and more complex now. Count if within the first one, pencil and best plus another count if binder and waste. That's how to achieve at what's the total now, which is 4. You can check that manually. Check it manually. Checking manually is overrated. Sorry. So I think that's we are done with the conditional. Conditional statement. Now back to your question, Zainab. Back to your question. You said average ifs. Like, can we get the average of a certain sales rate? That was the question back then, Abby. We were doing average. Now, do you know how to be able to achieve that?
Yes, I do.
You try it out to yourself, Abby?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take it like you do. I'll take it like that.
Yes.
From what you've done, I'll meet you in my class now. But then I understand it. Let us know. Are we ready? Are we ready? Math functions now. You might not even be using this anytime soon. They are mathematics. They are data analysts or mathematicians. Shall we go on? Yes. So now, we're doing some what are these guys? We're doing some maths formulas that we are going to do. We have the square revenue, round revenue. So to get square roots, very easy. Just equals square roots. And to round up, let me talk about that. To round up. Oh my God. Please, sorry. These guys are something. Let me just mix them, please. Make notification. Disable sound. Disable sound. Make notification. I've muted them to several things. So now, rounds up a number of digits to a specified number of digits. A number to a specified number of digits. Absolute returns the absolute value of a number. So now let's check it out. We can round up to any aspect that we can round up this number to what? 4 decimal points. You can see 4 decimal points, round, comma, 4. You take it 1, 2, 3. It's now right up to 4 decimal points. Enter. You can say round absolute. Absolute will just pick the number to positive. Even if it is negative, it's positive, it's very useful. Positive. Now there are some tricks here that I want to show us. There are some tricks here I want to show us. Now, assuming I personally want to round up, I will use this number aspect. I don't want to have this 0, 0, 0. I can push it away. 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 And I can add to it, add to it, add to it. So I think 2 decimal points, not 2 decimal points. I'll just do it like this. We now have 4 decimal points. I'll add more to it. So, but 2 is the standard. So you can also do 2 decimal points and do for everything. Here, I can add 1 decimal point, 2 decimal points. So these are what these guys are used for. So now round here is doing what? Round to the round like a whole number. That's why comma 0. Round to the nearest whole number. Now you say comma minus 1 nearest 10, minus 2 nearest 100. You understand? Well, nearest 10 will give you nearest 10 will put someone in trouble in the nearest future because you're rounding up 189 to 190. That's information. Even 2 decimal points is way more okay than rounding up the nearest whole number. See, now you're giving this person 999, giving him 1,000 naira. That make your sheet very unbalanced. Make very, very unbalanced. So we have square root, we have the round. Let's see the functions still here. I don't think we have here. But for more exploration, please, let's do the aspects. Math aspects. Do math. Do cos, do tan, do sine. So do everything. Adjacent, logarithm, do as much as you can. That's what I can, but 4 hours. I just taking it. Yeah. So, any questions? Do you understand?
Sorry, do you have to signify if you're rounding up or you're rounding down, or it's just round?
I don't. Come again.
I said, do we have to signify if we are rounding up to a number or we are rounding down, or it's just round itself?
We have to round. Like now, let me if I get a question right. Round takes 2 arguments. If you say equals round, it takes 2 arguments. A number and the number of digits you want to round it up to. Let's say I have 150,000 980 980.506070. I want to round it up to the nearest 2 nearest 2 not the nearest 2 digits 2 decimal points. I would say 2 at the back. You can see 0.51. You understand that? Now I want to round it up to the what? To the nearest 100. What? Just the nearest whole number. I'll put 0 at the back. Nearest whole number. H1. But the nearest 100 now. Nearest 10 is minus 1. Nearest 100 is minus 2. So you can see minus 2 now. Minus 2. Because we have 180 here. So it's coming to 9 is giving us 80. You can see very well. You can see 150,900. 150,900. 9,000 minus 3. Minus 3. You get it? Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we are done with math functions. Should we call it a day? Should we call it a day or we don't? We have logical, we have text function, we have date function, we have finish function, we have error handling, lookup, projects, and we are done. Let's go on, guys. Come on. We should know just which data we can. Abi, can I hear from anyone that we can continue? Let's
Yes.
not have
Let's
it like my
continue.
student. Okay. Like this. Can everyone keep speaking like the way Zina be speaking? I really much like the way she's speaking. Like it gave me an idea to continue. No. Logical functions. And this is logical. Now, before I go on, you'll be like, okay, we have different things on our screen. Calm down. It's not hard. Let me show you how to do it. I can just come here, home here, I'll click on this format printer. What that format printer does is it takes the format they have in this cell and do it for the menu. But that's format printer. Now you turn all of them to people outside, normal thing that I had before. Do you understand? But then I do want to have something that is more out of is more and more fine to look at. Something that is fine to look at. So rather than now come over to what to doing some color effect on it. So you can just come here and then we on some new rules and some new columns so that we can see. So if you do this, just click here, edit the color, and see the color now. Edit the words. That's the text color, the background color. Now give the text color white. And give the text color white. Why is this thing? Just press me now. The text color white, background color deep blue. And when you write anything there, you can see how the format those looks like. Nothing too hard. Nothing too hard. So just add the thing I just did for this guy. Just clicking on it and then painting it the way I want. Do you understand? So it's not correct. Do you understand? And that will make your project fine. Like okay, it makes more sense, it looks more beautiful. This is how we have it. Can we please? Aha. So now let's continue. So now we have some new set of data. We have first name, second name. This is like a school call sheet. Except my university school, they don't have something like this. It's like directed. So having this is making sense. So we have name, first name, second name, age, gender, math test score, math exam score, the total score, grade, student check, students. These are those two things that are using to check some things. So now the first aspect of the logical aspect is you want to check if a student does what, if they pass or if they fail. I want to grade them based on that. Now let me open a new column. I have a new column here. Insert a new column. Now to be here, I want to clear the formatting on the column. I want to clear the formatting on the column. So that I want to do it from scratch for myself. Now I'll come here, grade new, grade underscore new. Now their grades, anybody that scored above 50 pass, anybody that scores below below 50 fail. So we do equals if just ordinary if logical test. If this is what greater than 50, value is true. Greater than 50, value is true is what? Pass. Else value is false. Value is false is what? Fail. Now this one, total score is 12. Fail. I'll not do this drop down for everyone. It's telling me fail, pass, pass, fail, pass, 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 and so on and so forth. Do you understand? So we have done that for this. We've done that for this. Now I want to go on. I want to check. I want to make it more beautiful. How I was able to achieve that red and green. So I'm going to do conditional what? Conditional formatting. And conditional formatting goes a long way. It is more than what we have, the simple thing we are going to do now. It's more than the simple thing we are going to do. So we click on this column, we come here, we see conditional formatting. New rule. New rule. Give it a new rule. Based on what? Formats only cells that contain the cell value. It's not between that contains specific text. What is the text? Fill. If it's containing fill, format it as what? As fill with red. Just fill with red. Okay. Once it's fill with red. Okay. You can see all our fill now, they are what? They are red. We still add another rule to it, new rule. Based on what the cell contains, specific text. There are a lot of things that you can use to play with it, to play around with it. If it is greater than, less than, even I'll show you something else now. Specific text containing pass. To format it, just fill equals to what? Green. Okay. We have our green. Instead of burdening ourselves and doing this one safe, we can do it from here. First of all, we want to clear this formatting. Format, we will remove all the formatting. Remove everything. I want to remove everything. Okay, let me continue. I don't know if that will overshadow it. New rule. Cells based on what they contain is not a value. Error, cell value between cell value between 0 and what? And 50. Between 0 and 50, red. Okay. You can see between 0 and 50. Greater than between 51 to 100, green. Very easy. New rule. Format cell that contain between 51 towards 100. Okay. I didn't set the color. Manage rule now. Between 100 format. No format set. Edit rule. After the format to it. Green. Add a green to it. Okay. Apply. You can see we have our green and red now. Is that clear? I hope it's clear. Yeah, it should be clear. Definitely be clear. So that's that about that. Now there's some students that want to give benefit of that. That's logical statements and if. And if, yeah. Now, and I hope I'm able to remember this correctly the way I should. Or let me just fact check. But let me try to remember. So and we have if, we have no or not. No or not. So if you are saying and is true if both value are true, if all the value are true. But or is true when any of the value is true. I don't know if you get that. How do I explain? And it's only true if all the values are true. But or is true if any of the value is true. Why for false? And is false if all the value are false. If any of the value is false, it is false for and. If any of the value is false. If any of the value is false. But if all the value are false, for all, it's going to be false. Let me just the way I'm saying theoretically, you might not understand. Let me just practice it out. But I hope you are writing it down the way I just said it. Yeah, I'm sure use a table for that. Let's do this. Let me just explain with this guy. And F2, we are saying F2 now. We are saying if math test score greater than 10, comma, that's logic 1. If the test score is greater than 10 and the exam score is greater than 35. Now you see the first one is true. F2 is greater than 10, but G2 is not greater than 35. That means we have a false. And everything must be true for it to be true. Everything must be true for it to be true. So we're going to have false here. So now for this one, now you can see everything is for and though. Sorry. For and everything must be true. You can see this one is true. This is greater than 10. This is also greater than 35. That's why it is true. So everything must be true for what? For and to be true. So we saw some people that pass and they will still be false. You can see this guy passed, but it's still false. Why? You can see this person exam score is what? It is less than 35. It is less than 35. That's why it is what? It is false. But for if you are using or now, it's going to be true because one of them is actually greater than it. So this logic, it just depends on you because we want to say, okay, we want to give a second chance to people that we think like maybe they didn't have a fair advantage. Imagine someone scoring 14 here, 11 here, and coming back to score 1 here. That's very an unfair advantage. You want to give them some what do you call it? Some doubt, and then maybe they should retake their exam or something. Do you understand? Do you get it? So that's it. And or. Are we getting it? Hello? Do you understand?
The and or is a little bit confusing, but
But you read up on it, you come. What?
no, it's just a little bit confusing. That's all.
Okay, the more you get, the more you try to use it and then try to explain,
Yeah, I'll get used to it.
understand it. Yeah. I think we should stop here for today. because we've done quite a lot. And it's almost
Yeah.
9. We have text, we have. Let's stop here for today. Now, next class, we'll move on with the text function. And then we're able to explore it more. I should actually give you guys as assignments. So here, text and conditional formatting is actually embedded in this sheet too. So yeah, let's stop here for today. Everyone, do you understand all what we've done, and do you understand it to the very best? And do you have any issues? If you have any issues, do let me know. If not, we can possibly. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for doing, everyone. Any assignments? Practice, that's the assignment. Everyone should practice. Next class, we are not even doing any exam, by the way. If we move on to the main cohort, we'll do exams and tests. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Have a blessed day. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, today is weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Let me go and party.
Yeah. And please don't forget this to send the record to the class so we can go over it.
I will definitely send the recording as soon as I get it home. As soon as I'm set and I get it.
All right then, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye everyone. Bye Zainab. Bye Abbasit. Bye Hikma. Bye Mr. Michael and bye Mr. Timothy. Have a wonderful
All right. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.